Hello, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're jumping right into episode 19 of A God Among Men, which is called Plants and Animals. And wow, this is where things get really interesting. See, Cameron's not just chasing power anymore. Oh no, he's aiming to become a creator. We're about to watch him take on his biggest project ever, turning a whole mountain into his own private, completely untouchable paradise.
And it all kicks off with this one simple, powerful thought. Cameron looks at New Moon Mountain and decides it's not just a place he's visiting. No, he's claiming it. This is going to be his sanctuary, a spot where he has total control with zero outside interference. You gotta understand, this one declaration, it sets everything else in motion.
So, you might be asking, how in the world does one guy just reshape a mountain? Well, the secret ingredient is the heavenly tree. Its roots have already snaked their way through the entire mountain. Think about that. It means he's connected to every rock, every single blade of grass. This tree isn't just a tree, folks. It's basically his command center for a full-on terraforming mission.
And his first move? It's a huge flex of the tree's power. Imagine these roots moving like giant tentacles, finding a hidden grotto filled with spirit water. With just a thought from Cameron, the tree sucks up the entire pool, cleans it, and then spits it out into a brand new cave. What comes out is this super potent stuff called radiant water. And let me tell you, this supercharged water is the rocket fuel for everything that's about to happen.
Okay, so he's got his power source sorted. What's next? Well, Cameron's a smart guy. His next move is all about strategy. Before you can build a paradise, you gotta build a wall, right? He needs to make this summit totally off limits to, well, anyone he doesn't want there.
And he does it with this really clever 3-layer defense system. First, bam, the ground just shoots up, creating a sheer 9-foot cliff out of nowhere. Then, he tells the trees to form a wall. And I mean a wall so thick, it's like a fortress. And for the final touch, he weaves their branches into this dense net that nobody could possibly climb through. The summit is now pretty much impenetrable.
All right, security is handled. The perimeter is locked down. Now the fun part can start, the grand design. Cameron flips from defense mode to architect mode. He's about to take this wild, untamed summit and turn it into a perfectly planned, functional home.
First things first, you gotta clear the canvas, right? With just one command, every single weed on that summit is yanked out of the earth and swept up into what's described as a literal tornado of grass. Can you even picture that? Just whoosh! In a few seconds, the whole area is wiped clean, ready for him to start building.
Now for the internal walls, Cameron isn't messing around with boring stuff like stone or wood. Nope, with a single word, plant, he commands entire holly trees to fly into place. And once they land, they grow at this insane speed, creating living, breathing fences to divide up his new home.
So he splits the back of the mountain into these 3 main zones. You've got an area for crops, a middle section for livestock, and then a third area just for pets. Each one has a very specific job.
So the big picture layout is done. Now it's time to zoom in and focus on the details. Cameron starts filling in each of these zones, adding all the specific plants and buildings and, well, all the little things that'll make it feel alive.
And he starts with a little touch from the divine world. He scatters these seeds for something called clear herbs all over the place, everywhere but the crop area. What do? Well, they're like natural air purifiers. They immediately fill the air with this sweet smell and just make the whole place feel fresh and clean. It's all about creating that perfect atmosphere. And this next part shows you he's not just thinking about tomorrow. He's playing the long game. He plants a sublime tree. Why? Because he knows in 1 year it'll give him fruit. And this all lines up perfectly with the heavenly tree itself, which is set to hit its full power in about 5 years. He's planning everything out.
Those living holly fences, they keep growing, creating even smaller divisions. The crop zone gets split into a spot for grains and another for veggies. The livestock area gets a couple of ponds, a deep one for fish, shallower ones for ducks and geese. Even the pet zone gets its own little pond. I mean, he is thinking of every single detail.
So, the layout is perfect. The fields are prepped, the ponds are full, but wait, something's missing. The animals he's planning to bring in, they're gonna need shelter from the elements, right? So what does he do? In this just jaw-dropping display of power, he commands trees from far away to just lift up into the air, and as they're flying, they break apart, splintering into perfectly cut planks and beams. All this raw material then just flies over to where the livestock and pets will be, And then, like magic, the planks start assembling themselves into these custom-made shelters. You've got a chicken coop that's raised up off the ground, separate little houses for ducks, for geese, for cats and dogs. Each one is built just for them. He even fills them with wild grass so they're move-in ready with nesting material.
And for the finishing touch, he looks at the wooden shelters and thinks, could be prettier. So he makes a blanket of green leaves grow all over them, covering each one completely. It makes them look like they're just part of the landscape. And hey, it's a waterproof roof too. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Okay, the stage is set. Defenses are up. The land is divided. The houses are built. Every physical piece is in its place. Now, it's time for the grand finale. The one final act that's going to switch this whole ecosystem on. He looks over everything he's built, takes a deep breath, a little smile plays on his lips, and he gives the heavenly tree one last, simple command: begin. The tree responds with this massive, booming sound as it just unleashes its power. We're talking more than half of all the radiant water it had stored up. A truly colossal amount of pure energy is about to be released.
This energy sprays out from the tree's leaves, covering the whole mountain in a fine mist, like a light rain. But this is no ordinary H2O. This is a shower of pure life force, and it is drenching every single inch of the summit.
And this is the final amazing transformation. As that energy soaks into the ground, the very dirt of the mountain changes. It's no longer just normal land. It becomes what they call spirit earth. And instantly, those clear herbs explode from the soil, and the whole mountain just starts to hum with this incredible, vibrant energy you can almost feel. So think about what he's just done. Cameron doesn't just have a fortress anymore. He has a living, breathing mountain, pumped full of divine energy that does whatever he wants. It really makes you wonder, right? With this kind of power, what in the world is he going to do next?
If you like the story, please like and share it, and subscribe to the channel to watch future episodes. Thanks for watching.